One or two backstab kills. You've got JKS and Azza as those entry style players finding the openings and really opening up those bomb sites on the T side. What is Nifty going to fall back on, especially as the AWPer as well, trying to mimic Fall in that regard, where you have to not only watch your own play, but watch the play of the 4 other teammates that you have.
It's true. Obviously, I mean, there was sort of that common debate about it, the fact that IGLing as an AWPer is a little bit easier. You get more of sort of an open perspective across how to control a unit. I mean, you know, that was always sort of a thing that we have seen sort of players speak about in the past. How do you reckon that is going to sort of interact the facts over there? I
think one of the things that the AWP brings is the best weapon for taking control of the map is the AWP. You haven't got a gun that's better than that. The reason being is, of course, you look at a map like Mirage. If you want to take control of short, you peek short with the AWP. You want to take control of connector, you go short, you peek towards connector, and you use the long-range weapon to take control of the map. And that's why, as an IGL, you can dictate the pace of your T sides that way, basically leading the charge, going in first. The only issue is, in the CT side, when you're trying to find entries for your side, trying to find opening picks towards Palace, towards B Apartments, it's hard to manage everything.
It's true, it's an awkward situation that we're in. But nevertheless, Snods, we are ready for the action to begin. Kings Gaming versus Renegades. Mirage will be the battlefield, Snods. Kings Gaming on that CT side. Renegades will be your Ts.
Fast play towards the A side, ready for the side of Renegades. You still are leading the charge. JKS towards Palace as well. 2 players from Kings situated towards the A side. A push towards middle, which means late rotations right now towards the A side from Kings.
They want to try and push their way straight out. JKS with support as well as they will slowly burst their way in. Very smartly done as they clear under, but there's the response frags coming in. Liaz going to get one, Wizard as well. Luckily there's a response from Azza, but look at this in behind. Coming in, Imagine, ready to try and do a little bit of damage.
3 versus 3 right now. Kings having no kit right now, just Kevlar at their disposal. For some of Renegades, you do have a smoke onto Azza that was picked up, and maybe actually I think there's a kit towards CT. You can see it there just in view at the bottom of your screen. So there's a kit right now in play for Kings. Can they retrieve it though?
Oh, smartly done from Imagine, just hiding stealthy stuff as he silently assassinates the first man he sees. There's another response from Hats as he takes down Azza. Naf is the only one left standing. He's not alive for long as well. Imagine, that's a huge round for him. Great play on the lurk there. Finds one, gets the follow-up frag as well, and they will actually get this opening pistol round.
We've seen that Kings is a momentum-based team, so winning the CT pistol is pivotal and definitely going to be having a large impact on the remainder of their CT half. Obviously, they still have to play versus the... Oh, actually, the bomb was planted, which means we should be seeing a full eco from Renegades. Obviously, they have about 2.5k in the bank, so they can save here. And into round number 3, have their AK by and really force the pressure and put Kings on their back foot from early on. Nevertheless, the good stuff from Kings is they will be investing into a scout onto Sicko. He will be the AWPer, probably going to be taking the position of mid-window as well. Only issue here, Jack, is the fact that having that scout in the first buy round, he's probably been lacking that AWPer, even in M4 as well. Sometimes when the bomb is planted from the T side, you see the CT's buy a Mac 10 and they push, they try and get the kill, stack up the cash, they can afford the AWPer in the first buy round.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that will actually develop as we work our way through. Obviously, set themselves right now up for the eco with what they've gone for. They do have the flashes and smokes play of it. It's going to be that B take as the flashbangs will pound across the sky. They want to burst their way straight in, but will Hats be able to hold them back as he unleashes hell. Can't quite connect the shots, though. Will fall. Liaz is smoked off as well, Snods. They are forced out of the site right now.
Oh, he's going to go for the reload, though. The thing is, can you still hear that and take advantage of it? Sicko with the scout will find one and turn this into a 4 versus 4.
Let's see, JKS just waiting for the push to come in his way. Everyone hiding in these off angles, hoping to just get a little bit of time to drop on the opposition when Kings do go for this forced retake. Naf at a primetime angle as well. It just depends on when he peaks it to really support.
Low HP there for you, Stillo and Nifty. No Kevlar as well, which means these SMGs will tear them apart. It's going to be the 3 versus 3, but look at the HP as well of the Kings. They're so low, these pistols having so much of an impact.
Oh, Ustilio somehow finds that flick shot towards Imagine as well, takes him down, Snods. They're making this play work fantastically. Ustilio just needs to try and stay alive. The kills come through. Unfortunately, it's into a 1v1 Wizard so low. The bomb timer is ticking away rapidly. He has no chance to go for this. Will get dispatched as well. They even it up at a 1-1 scoreline.
Heartbreaking there for Kings as they lose versus the full eco from Renegades. No Kevlar. All they need is those 2 smokes. Light investment into the upgrading the pistols, and apart from that, that's all they need. Actually, Wizard there from the Kings side laughing off, thinking, how on earth have we just lost that round? Giggling in the way, at least we're showing some good thoughts, good morale in the camp from Kings. Obviously, when you lose a round like that, it's very easy to get very tilted, frustrated at your teammates, thinking, how on earth have we lost that round?
That was the thing as well. Just looked a little bit awkward there. Renegade just able to overpower him. The smokes came down. Kings just looked a bit lost on the retake. Didn't really know what to do as a team. And the last second decision making just really came back to bite him. Obviously, nice early opener there as well. As we see Sicko go down. Ooh, he's still risking it a little bit as he was fumbling around with his nades when a peek came through. But he does survive to fight another day.
Now Fly is low, but nevertheless to get the first kill. It's going to be the man advantage here. Make that 2 as Azza will find the kill on to Imagine from underpass. 2-man advantage now for Renegades. They're going to be clearing this round out slowly, tactically, but surely, as they do have the big lead here.
Obviously already a lot of map control in their favour as they have slowly encroached towards mid. Liaz just waiting with the CZ on the close angle by Short. If Nifty actually does go for a play, potentially he can shut him down. It is a cheeky little angle.
Yeah. Scout still to play there from Hatsu towards the A site. Liaz gets spotted out by Nifty. Nifty can be jumping into CPL. Still going to go for the duel as Liaz wants to get all the information he can.
Oh! Baits him out, but he actually finds the headshot. Gets one, ready for the second as well. Gets him low, but Nifty was a little bit too quick there as he will be able to stay alive. B site completely swarmed now as well, Snods, as everyone from Renegades has exploded out and locked it down. It's a 2 versus 4. Hats and Wizard, the last 2 remaining CTs. Not the best buy as well, obviously a Famas and a Scout. Not going to be that effective on a retake like this.
No kit as well, just to add into the deficit that they have into the round. May as well just throw in the towel here and call a save. No reason to give away the Scout and the Famas we saw in the last round. Renegades still able to find success into a round of just minimal investment. So Kings will be trying to save their Famas and Scout into the next one. Nevertheless, though, it's going to go 2-1 for Renegades as finally they're picking up the pace here after losing that initial pistol.
Yeah, obviously Renegades can be pretty happy with themselves being able to reset that quickly and actually grow their lead quite rapidly. Handsome Wizard, if they can hold on to these weapons, that would be the best case scenario at this point, because obviously they can't afford to just get that complete reset coming through. It's going to be the round, though, for Renegades as they secure it now.
Exactly, as you mentioned before, the reset. Maybe if this was a 2 versus 2 or a 2 versus 1 and they lost that round, you could be seeing Kings, you know, have the argument to force by this if Renegades' money is low. The problem is they had 4 alive, the bomb was planted as well. 4,000-ish across the bank balance for Renegades across the board, so no reason to go for force buy around the Famas and Scout for Kings. Obviously, if you lose this round, you're really on edge for the rest of the half. 2-1, it will be the eco for Kings. They will be able to buy up into the next one. So, the question is, how is the buy going to be into round number 5 as Renegades potentially current favourites to try and make this one a 3-1?
Yeah, obviously this should be around for them if you look at things on paper right now. They have the AKs in play. You still there as well. He's got the Mac 10 out, so he wants to try and build some cash if he can. Imagine we'll get a bit of information play off early as he spots out Naf just holding towards Palace. Oh, there's the opening Deagle shot as well. Hats just deegging down as he lands that shot on Zistillo. Very nicely done.
Has Kevlar as well, so the question is, can he try and retrieve and salvage the AK off of the body from Zistillo and try and utilize that into this round? Obviously, at that point, you'd have a Famas, a Scout, and a AK with Kevlar to back it up into this one. 4 versus 5, then Renegades will be making the play and the commitment towards the A sides to try and dismantle the CT defense being put up right now by Kings. Oh, look at that boost towards under balcony as well.
This could be very effective, actually. Liaz in a prime time position. He's soaked up. Doesn't get affected by the ladder, but he will go down as Naf finds the headshot. The push is coming through quite swiftly now as well. They might not actually be aware of the second player under, but they do spot him out. Take him down eventually as it is going into a 3 versus 3. Now the battle of attrition working in favour of Renegades. Hearts wanted to try and follow up his Deagle damage with another kill, but he couldn't quite connect the shot. Sicko as well. Looking like he might just back off and live to fight another day with this Scout, or at least wait to see if they push for an exit kill.
Has no Kevlar. Obviously, the Scout could be used in play into the next buy round. The issue is you would much rather have the AWP. But he did go for the force buy when Renegades won their eco, which means at best he can probably be able to afford an M4. You can see he has $2,000 in his bank right now. He will get 2.4k as his round loss bonus into the next one, into round number 5. So at best he can go for an M4. Or he could try and wait for the bomb to go down and try and retrieve an AK.
Oh, he's going for the cheeky shot, Snods. He's hoping to make a play work. He wants something juicy here as he's pushing in. Naf is very low, so always a bit of potential, but unfortunately he will get skewered. He falls short and he goes down. That is 3 rounds now claimed for Renegades off the back of resetting Kings from the initial pistol win they had.
Pause going to be called from the side of Renegades, actually, after going 3-1 up. So, I imagine the cause for concern right now for Renegades is, do you carry forward these Mac 10s into the buy round? Obviously, you know that Kings went for a force buy, so they should be lacking head armor jack. Issue is, if you are going to be having these Mac 10s, you've got to be thinking, how are we going to try to utilize them? Are we going to go for a fast connected play, try and get close range with these Mac 10s towards connected towards jungle and fast up short? Are we going to go for a B play? Maybe try to go for a B split. You have 2 AKs, send the AKs towards middle, try to go for a split, smoke off window from spawn, smoke off top of connector from back boxes, and of course try and smoke short or flash it. Try and get yourselves close netted in towards short and go for a B split. Have the AKs towards middle, have the 2 Mac 10s towards B apartments, or vice versa towards Palace and middle with the AKs. So there's lots of things you can do. The question is, yeah, so they will be keeping for the Mac 10s into play. No head armor right now for Kings. Can Renegades exploit that?
Let's see, Imagine and Go actually going for the very aggressive push towards close mid. Those want to try and fight their way through. He's a little bit of double entry off the back of the Mach 10. He is making it rain right now as he keeps it going as well. That's a triple. He is going to be very happy with that glorious little opener.
Massive advantage now for Renegades into this round and make it even larger. JKS will find another one onto Wizard. And right now, Hatsu's thinking to himself, how on earth is one Mach 10 from Ustillo able to basically decimate the whole of our CT defense?
That's the thing, they want to try and go for that aggressive burst towards top mid early, push down, try and get some map control and assert dominance, instantly lose everything. And not only that, it's the worst possible way as well. A hat trick to Ustillo off the back of the Mach 10. Not only is it paid for itself, but it's more than paid off what he wanted in that round.
Exactly. I mean, you get 3 kills from Mach 10, you're looking at $1.8k just in terms of pure liquid cash. And he's retrieved the rifles as well off of the dead bodies. So in terms of the difference in investment he's made into that round, you're looking at a 2,000 to 3,000 surplus.
Absolutely ridiculous it has gone in that fashion. Hats as well, just trying to stay alive. Does pre-fire, JKS wants to take the fight. Will at least get that first kill on a JKS. Tries to bait them out as well, making them think that he's dropped. But Naf will fight his way straight through, finds the wallbang, and will deny them saving any weapons on the side of Kings as well. So that is once again a full reset coming through. They're going to have nothing to invest here.
4-1. And now 4 rounds won as well in a row for Renegades after conceding the pistol. At 10,000 for Nafly, you would have thought that you still would be the player with the money in the bank account, but actually Nafly only dying twice so far means he has saved himself trying to go for those reinvestments time and time again. It will be the eco though coming in from Kings. Wizard has a few extra $100 to play with, so we'll be buying up into the Kevlar. But apart from that, 4 sets of pistols, 1 Kevlar onto Wizard. Very high chance here, Renegades to go 1 to 5, and as well, Jack, is another round where they can build up even more cash and have even more of a advantage in terms of the economy. One of the issues you have on your CT side when you lose rounds, in a row, time and time again, is you fully buy, you fully invest into one round, you lose, you then have to go for a half buy, a quasi buy, ZZ Kevlar, and at that point you're basically looking at 2-for-1 rounds for the side of Renegades. They win a buy round, they force Kings onto a pistol round, and they've won 2 rounds off the back of that 1 rifle round win.
Yeah, it's been very well played so far from Renegades, obviously, as soon as they were able to get back into the action. First pistol round as well was a bit of an interesting one, so the fact they were able to reset so quickly. Naf as well, just holding the angle. Peek comes round. Wizard just tried to peek out and take the fight in the end, but the pre-fire was still going and will remove him from the situation. Liaz as well, unfortunately, he isn't as crisp as he was into the prior round, as Nifty will make quick work of him. They are trying to go for this fast speed play. Ustillo and Co. just rattling off these pot shots, unleashing hell towards the site. They get the double entry, and that's basically the round as good as done. There's the final frag coming in from Naf, and another round for Renegades.
Yep, 5 players staying alive as well, which means their money will surmount even more. 14,000 now for Nafline. 3 players, over $10,000 in the bank for Renegades. So going forward, Kings on the CT side of the chain, multiple rounds together. We'll be seeing a tactical timeout come from the side of Kings. And obviously, Kings being the team that has so much to prove here, Jack. Having success in the Oceanic region, winning out their local domestic tournaments, coming to the Asian minor. They're the team that really want to show we can still hack it among the international competition.
Yeah, very much so. Obviously for Kings it's a big mountain to climb. They want to prove themselves, obviously overpower the team that's sort of known as the Australian powerhouse, the sort of big, well-known big dogs. They want to sort of come in, show that they can also live up to the hype and try and shut it down. And this is what they're going to try and switch up, Snods. Look at that buy coming into fruition.
2 AWPs now for Kings. We saw it have so much success in the last map versus MVP on Inferno. The issue was, though, in terms of world-class teams, Renegades is a big step up in comparison to MVP. We saw MVP, they weren't flashing angles, and they were able to just die and die time again. Versus these AWPs were already sick of misses the first shot, and actually allows you still to get so aggressive towards Connector. And fast play will smoke off short, but actually the real play from Renegades is towards that B side.
Straight in as well. They want to go swiftly into the site as they glide through the air, showing off their acrobatic skills right now. Liaz will get one. Hatsu comes in as well as he does a little bit of damage with the AWP going for the no-scopes, but he will be overpowered by Naf there. And he's going to fall eventually. Site control's been taken now by Renegades as well. They've got it locked down. They can just try and play for timing. There is a retake on the horizon, but it's coming from short, and they're incredibly grouped up. Kings do have a lot of utility to aid them, though. And Imagine could go huge here, Snods.
Imagine towards underpass. We'll get the drop here onto Ustillo with time. Then again, Ustillo now ready for the flank to come from behind. 4 versus 3, the man advantage for Kings. At what point does Ustillo try to back up his teammates on site and give space for Imagine to come in with the flank?
It's true. True. It's all about deciding the correct timing to go for the play here as the peak will come around. Naf gets the first frag onto Liaz as Sicko takes damage as well. It's starting to trickle away from them, and it gets worse by the second as Wizard will also go down. Finally, Imagine can get a little bit of a moment to take the fight, but it's only going to be one frag. They realize as well it's way too far gone. They back off in the 2v2. They're just so low HP. Imagine Sicko have to save, but at least they will have the AWP and M4.
From 4 versus 3, Nafly goes huge. Not only does he get that entry towards the B side, but also gets those 2 kills on the retake. And there you have it. Imagine Sicko on low HP, forced to throw in the towel again and save. 6 rounds down the road for Renegades on their T half. And now we're starting to see Jack 16k into the bank of some of these players in Renegades. They're dropping over 8ks, even though they are all able to buy across the board. Round number 8, 6-1, a 5-round advantage. And we'll be seeing a force buy from the side of Kings. Force buying around the 2 safe weapons, which means if you save 2 guns, Jack, of course, having 3.4Ks around us bonus, you can drop over 2 more M4s. But then again, you're still looking at 2 M4s, 2 Famouses, and an AWP. But goodbye. The issue is it enough?
Oh, Wizard play on the close angle as well. So we're trying to go for the smoke spray. We'll get one. But there's the tray coming back through from Azza swiftly as well. Sicko tries to stay alive. He'll back off for the moment. Nifty. He's making absolute mincemeat out of the players situated towards close mid as well, as he has found a back door. They can now converge in and go for the pincer play on the A-bomb. So Sicko absolutely overwhelmed. You can see all of his senses right now as he's attempting to work out where this push is coming from. Site control has been taken very easily. Naf gets the bomb down as well. They have everything in the palm of their hands to take this one.
Naf is low HP. That could be the silver lining that Kings need in this retake. They've kept Smoke and a flashbang to play with. 3 versus 2 as they force back the T play slowly. But the problem is the bomb is ticking down. As the flank does get the drop on Hats. Going to be Imagine now they're 1 versus 3. And again, they're forced to save. But actually, as I will deny even that, it's going to be no players surviving for the side of Kings, which means no players to drop over. Then again, a few players for the CT side do have money to invest if they want to go for a force buy. The problem is, again, they don't have enough utility, enough firepower to back up these buys. I believe the closest round we've really had, or the advantage they had, Jack, was when they had the 2-op setup.
It's true. That was a situation where they actually had, you know, for once, a little bit of momentum behind them. They could try and go for the more audacious peaks early. They could go for the more aggressive plays they needed to. But the only thing is, it's just so much of an economic sort of decline to try and invest into that. It's a big hit. It tanks your economy massively. And it's hard to reset yourselves if you have to try and go for those plays, especially if it doesn't work out. Early contact there as well, as Naf gets dinked down incredibly low as the information play comes out towards Palace.
Still, though, information for Kings and a dink at that. The problem is the bomb is still towards T-spawn. Renegades playing a very slow default, so they can still change up their game plan here. And that Naf is dinged. You can see he will be dispersing from the A side of the map. Going to be rejoining the ranks towards middle and B. Renegades now telegraphing potentially a play towards that B side. Nifty finds the first one to Hats, going for the peek towards balcony. And suddenly the B side's up for grabs.
They are getting the entries they need. Obviously, King's going to be struggling to put up too much of a fight as they only have these measly upgraded pistols to play with. 3 Deagles, 1 CZ. There's contact though by close mid. Azza actually overpowered as Imagine will take him down. He can grab that AWP. There's the AK in play actually, so he's been able to swiftly grab the weapon. He can try and reposition back round. They need to try and do whatever they can. Liaz as well, whenever entry. These Deagles are coming out massive so far. The spray down from JKS though, as he peeks into it, will be a little bit too much for him to handle.
Kevlar, 2 players, Imagine with the AK as well, can be backed up by armor, which means no aim punch behind that Kalashnikov. Can he have the impact that his team needs him to? 3 versus 3, no kits though for the CT side, so have to make haste here.
Boost comes around, JKS another frag. Imagine gets spotted out as well, realizes it needs to cut his losses. Wizard actually should eliminate Naf here on the peak, but Naf way too fast as he's ready.
He was 8 HP as well. One shot there from Wizard would have taken him down. And it's going to go 8-1. But then again, that was the weak buy from Kings, and they've gone for the saves. They can fully buy into this one. Oh, Imagine they're unable to save the AK going into round number 10. Nevertheless, though, Jack, 1-8. 7-round advantage here for the, I don't want to say international lineup for Renegades. Obviously, the core 3 are still Australian, Aussie. But of course, in terms of the home support, so many people backing up Kings. Not only is the dark horse, but as well as the team that has 5 players from Australia. And of course, they're playing in Australia, which means pride and prejudice in their core.
Yes,
exactly.
They are looking good. Obviously, they need to try and get themselves back in the game right now, though. Only 1 round secured so far on their CT half. It is nowhere near enough. They have to get a buffer going, as Renegades have basically already won the half. We're only a couple of rounds in. Nifty going to fire off the opening pot shot. Nearly connects it, but doesn't quite land the shot onto Hats just yet, as the smokes do come through as well. He wants to go fast in towards the site. Nifty, you can see that aggressive style. He starts to get these bursts of energy. He is getting tagged down, but he still isn't backing off.
So much confidence there from the IGL and in-game leader, Nifty. Trying to get the first kill for his team. Applies so much pressure towards that B site, as he still rallies off a few shots, trying to find that first kill. But eventually, Hatsu will clear it. And now the play towards the A site is what Kings are expecting. They're going to be sending 3 players there. 1 towards CT, 1 towards D4, and of course the 3rd player towards Sandwich, playing the off angle. Imagine there, in this scenario as well, when you are the 3rd man towards the site, you have to stay hidden. You can't be spotted.
Yeah, that is true. Oh, there's the entries though, up towards the A side. Double entry for JKS on the triple as well. He finds the headshot on Sicko. JKS is an absolute psycho right now as he's just brutalizing everyone on the entries. Ridiculous stuff.
Hatsu's cleared balcony. Surely he knows, and he can give the call saying B's clear. There was no real reason for Kings to push for the information. They had information across the other half of the map. They didn't need it towards the A site. If they'd stayed hunkered down and entrenched towards those positions they had, they would have had such an easy round. But instead they walk into the crosshair of JKS and they're met by pure firepower.
There is nothing you can do to stop that man. JKS has always shown, I think throughout his career, that he is so impactful. He's an explosive player. You give him an inch and he'll take an absolute mile, Snods. He'll run away with it.
Thing is as well, in terms of the roles for this team, oh, here we go, we're going to see it. So it was a spray transfer actually, and of course, oh, the 3rd shot as well. To take down Siku with the AWP, but in terms of the roles for this team, right, before JKS was that lurk-style player, the player that would grind out the round, take calculated risks, very passive. He's the one that waited for the later portions of the round to have his impact. And it feels like now that Nafly has joined the roster, he's the one that filled that spot and now gives space for JKS as an entry-style player.
Yeah, he's got more room to shine as a very bright star, as he has a lot of potential talent behind him indeed. Early aggression coming through from Renegades though, as they want to take the swift action towards mid. They've got a lot of map control already. Kings just trying to hold for those choke point pushes rather than play aggressive towards mid and counter this. They can't really even try and counter it with the buy they've gone for as well, because they just don't have the utility or weaponry to back that up.
This is the time you would go for a double ramp push when you've got no control towards mid or no information towards B. This is where you should be double pushing towards ramp, but instead, they're now warden off. Nafly is able to find such an easy kill onto Wizard. He had no idea that he was pushed in and aggressive towards connector. Imagine though, pushes through the smoke, finds 1 or 2 still there. We're still into the 4 versus 4 favouring the T side, especially as Sicko is deducted down to just a deagle.
Another location of Sicko as well now. Nifty, they're just penning him in. If Sicko peeks out, it'll be an easy frag for him. You can see everyone is very dubious. They know he's there. He's going to walk around. Must have just gone for the blind no-scope there, as Nifty will take him down. Still in a 3v3 though. They're not out of the deep end just yet, Snods.
Gets spotted out there. Liaz finds the push towards the B site, leaving just Hatsu alone with just a Fatmaster, no Kevlar. No utility, sorry, but eventually will be taken down 2 versus 2.
Naf and Azza, the last 2 remaining players on that Renegade side, battling out against Liaz and Imagine, as they will get ready for this retake. Liaz seems like he will be the first point of contact. Is right now just going for a bit of a spam, seeing if he can get any early information or a tag done. Imagine coming in from short as well. They have no utility, Snods. They have to go in dry, but they have the all-important kit to aid them as the round develops. Meanwhile, Azza, 2 flashbangs in his back pocket, so he can whip those out if he needs a little bit of a break. As the push will come around, though, Imagine falls instantly. There's another frag as well. Azza with a double, and that is a wonderful round going to the camp of Renegades.
What's critical as well is you can see the team play from Renegades. Even in that scenario, both of those peaks were two-faced. Both the players in the 2 versus 2, they peak simultaneously to take down the 1 player towards short and the 1 player towards kitchen. They isolate the players and group up upon them. Regardless though, 1 to 10, 9 run advantage here for Renegades, the favourites in this matchup as we go into round number 12. It's going to be M4 into Nafly, apart from that 4 case to run off the rest of the T buy. And again, another quasi buy here from the other Australian side, Kings onto 4 Deagles, 1 CZ, and again, they're saving for that next round buy.
Oh, Liaz is trying his luck. We have seen they can actually be very effective with these upgraded pistols, but it's just a little bit too much of a struggle right now. The thing is as well, even if they get these rounds, Nods, 1 round is what they have in their buffer right now. Renegades are already sitting comfy at 10. Looking like they might actually get a 2nd round all of a sudden, though, as they've done a fair bit of work into this one. Also wants to trade it back as they fall into a 3v3. But Kings need so much more than this. They cannot be having a CT half this week.
Exactly. Usually you're favouring the CT defense on Mirage, expecting 9 to 6, 8 to 7 scorelines, but instead Renegades are just toppling them over. Nevertheless, though, 3 versus 3. Imagine with a big 2K. able to retrieve the AK. Hatsu as well chimes in, gets the M4. Stunning potential here as Liaz finds one. The man advantage goes for the second. Will land that 50 damage shot, but unfortunately this is going to be down to the captain now. Imagine the 1 versus 2.
As you said, a 1v2 here for Imagine, as he has time to play with. This peek comes out from Nifty, it just depends who is quicker on the trigger. As he holds right now, waiting for the push to come his way. He's slowly going to expand out, tiptoe through as he wants to be silent yet deadly. Fires off the warning shots though as he spots out, gets the first headshot, tries to make it the 1v1. Can he get the second? Unfortunately not. Nifty, just a little bit too quick for him there.
Close but no cigar there from Kings. 11-1 now. As we go into round number 13, you thought they had a chance there. 3 versus 3. Liaz there towards CPL, finds 1 kill. Lands the tag as well with the Deagle. The problem was towards window. There was no trade on that kill, which meant a 2 versus 1 and Imagine unable to finish the job. 11-1, another buy round here for Kings. The most they can ask for in their first half is 11-4. And to put it frankly, they need that 11-4 scoreline and to try and get that T-side pistol to come back into this game. Renegades have really got full grasp of this first half, as they will be given mid-control again. The only time we've seen mid-control or any resistance from Kings, they got dismantled by 1 Mac-10 from TyLoo.
Yeah, it is ridiculous. The fact the one round they tried to go for the explosive style and actually counter Renegade's aggression, it just went way too far south too quickly. Early frags coming in though, as Sickle will get the opening kill. Takes down Nifty. That is going to be a very juicy little frag as the trades come back round though. Naf will get one towards Imagine. They are outnumbered and outgunned, Snods, but can they get a moment of greatness as Wizard will strike, gets another kill. It's all up to 1 man. It's on Naf right now. The bomb is close by. He's got a minute and 10 to play with and 3 kills to find as Liaz will tag him down. 31 HP is all he has to his name as he peeks through, and Sickle and the AWP shot. 11-2 right now. It's still not good enough. They might have doubled their rounds now, as they do actually have 2 in the back, but what can you do with that?
I wonder if Renegades would call for a pause here as well. Try and deny any momentum that Kings could try and amount. Moving swiftly on though, round number 14, 2-11. A 9-round lead here still for Renegades as they're toppling over the opposition Kings. The domestic matchup going heavily in favour of Renegades. We're expecting potential that Kings could do their research, try and find loopholes in Renegades, but instead that is being dismantled piece by piece.
Sicko slowly making his way through. You could see he was ready for that opening frag. He wanted to just go for the contact play with the AWP. Mid-control has now been expanded upon by Renegades, but they've backed off. They're just once again playing from these choke point angles, giving mid-control a very laxed hold.
Smoke comes out towards window. And once more, Jack, we're seeing mid-control completely given for free. No one from Kings delegated that role to try and hold off any aggression. Even played for information as well. No one's flash peeking towards mid from short or from window. No information being able to gather from the Kings side. There's no re-push as well. No one's pushing B apartments. No one pushing towards ramp or palace, which means Renegades have full reign towards the mid-portion of the map though. But thankfully, as it does eventually go down, but a fast reply there from Nifty.
Push coming round. JKS and Nifty doing work as they find all the kills that are necessary to the round, but they haven't realized finally they looked on to Wizard's location and were able to remove him. He could have been a nuisance if they let him stay alive for too much longer. And it's all on Hats now, a 1v3. Teaming with confidence as he hopes to try and make something out of this round. He's going to need to make an absolute meal out of it as the peak comes round. Naf glides through the air with a stable landing as he finds that kill. Very nicely done.
10-round advantage now. A double-digit deficit for Kings. As we go into the final round, so you can see Hat not happy with the first half performance from his squad. So, what's the final call going to be for this final round? If it goes 12-3, Jack, and you win that T-pistol, you try and make it, you win your versus the force play, win versus the eco, 12-6. We've seen many times teams come back from a 12-6 half. The only issue is, 13-2. If they lose the pistol, the game's as good as done.
It's true. JKS as well, basically just making mincemeat out of everyone that comes his way, ready for more, hungry for them to try and feed him more frags right now. Mid-control as well, back on the cards here.
So easy for him to basically just walk into his crosshair one by one. It's going to be the 2-man advantage though, once again for Renegades. As we are seeing slower play than we're usually seeing from the side of Renegades, as they're hoping and waiting for Kings to go for the push, but eventually King do win a duel at that. 4 versus 3 now. Nifty going to chime in and make it a 4 versus 2 though, and deny any advantage that Kings are trying to amount.
Yeah, keeping it going right now as it's definitely blow for blow. a 3v2 in this scenario. There's always potential, but unfortunately Liaz is only on 10 HP. They're spread fairly thin as well to support each other. The A site has already been blocked off. Their smoke's down, removing their lines of sight. Nifty as well. He's quick as ever as he remove Liaz, and it's all up to Hats to try and get them a third round at most at the half. He's going to peek through as well, and Azza was prepared for it. Takes him down. Renegades, a 13-round half there on their T side Mirage. It's a little bit of a struggle.
And the issue is as well, Jack, they lost the pistol. This could have been a 15-0.
Yeah. That is so true. I mean, the situation you look at as well, and the one rifle round they actually did lose was just...
So, oh, there we go. We're back.
Yeah.
Hello, hello, hello. Wow, would you look at that?
Would you look at that, mate?
And would you look at that?
So we're back in, apparently.
There you go.
It's like a game of chance. You never know. You put your hand in the hat,
you roll the
go for a bit of a
dice,
lucky
mate.
dip.
Yeah.
You're never quite sure what's going on.
Oh,
but
my goodness.
Anyway.
My goodness. Oh, the server has disappeared.
Right, mate. Well, that's not good, is it?
Which means
What an issue.
the lovely stream may be hearing our lovely voices for a fair few minutes.
But yeah, obviously Renegades off to a pretty hot start, pretty spicy. They've had their burritos. They're feeling good. They're feeling ready for a spicy begin. 13 rounds. I mean, as you said as well, if they would have got the opening pistol, basically would have been 15-0 at the half because they just dominated straight through. One round was the opening pistol that went in favor of Kings. Then they just continued in a very effective, fast and furious streak. Now then, back into the actions nods for the second half.
So Renegades now going to be on their CT defense, 13-2 up, 11-round advantage. Surely they cannot let this one slip away. I think the thing is as well today, Jack, is all of these matches have been so one-sided, right? 16-6, 16-9, and now 13-2 half. It feels like the teams are very one-sided coming into the minor. Like there's a big mismatch in terms of the level of play.
I want to try and take that early control. See if they can actually slip their way free. He's still in a prime time position to go big, but he will go down as Hats gets the opening frag. Azza is well ready to respond. Taps down on the trigger, but couldn't quite find the frags that were necessary. JKS as well, an early response there as he gets ever so close. He is tapping away, Snods, but he's not quite getting the entries they need. Everyone is fairly low on that Renegade side as well. Kings might be getting themselves another pistol round if they continue on with this play.
Azza onto 1 HP, kill on the JKS with the smoke as well. If he wants to deploy that, try defuse in the smoke. Big play there from JKS to turn this into a 4 versus 4. Actually, a 3 versus 3 now as kills go back and forth.
JKS is single-handedly dominating now as they make their way in. Nafa Nifty also come through. There's Nifty for another kill. Somehow, the round that looked like it was easily in the bag for Kings just goes so wrong. Nifty, another kill. That's a hat trick coming out. Renegades get that opening pistol round. They might as well just secure the victory right there.
That should be the final nail in the coffin now for Kings. It should be as good as done. And all she wrote. As it seems like Renegades are going to be sending Kings 6 foot down under.
Yep, they're sleeping with the fishes.
Yeah, there you go. Good one, mate.
They've got their...
They've been thrown onto the Barbie.
Oh, LA.
Yeah.
They might have been, yeah.
I mean, yeah.
That also works because, you know, Korean barbecue.
Exactly, mate. Exactly. We're bringing, you know, reference game
Cultural
incredibly on point. 14-2 now. If only Kings are on point, we could actually have a competitive game to cast. Nevertheless, though, it's going to be a large advantage for Renegades. They take the second pistol. Even though pistols have gone 1-for-1, Jack, he's still looking at a 14-2 half.
That is exactly true. Massive investment in SMGs here for Renegades as well. You can see they feel confident. 4 UMPs coming out, 1 M4. Imagine very close for comfort here as he doesn't quite realise Azza's just lying in wait, hiding in the smoke, ready to do a little bit of damage in a moment. As he will pop out, spot him, and eventually kill him as they do find that frag.
To put it bluntly, yes. 5 versus 2 now. It's going to be Sicko and Liaz last alive. They have Kevlar, smokes and flashes and deagles.
Ooh, hello.
Spicy!
Absolutely cheeky there from Sicko. He will do a little bit of damage, ready for some more. As he
Good lad.
knows there's someone coming around. He's going to try and hammer down on the trigger. Can he find the headshot? Unfortunately not. Isn't going to quite get himself a third. Renegades, match point has been grabbed. It's been snatched. It's been thrown in the bag. And they are ready to close this one out.
Exactly. Renegades running away with the lead and the match at that. Nice 2K there from Sicko. Couldn't quite, you know, tag in the hat trick, but unfortunately it's it's probably 10 rounds too late to see some individual performance from the side of Kings. Obviously, top fragger for the side of Renegades is Nifty, and for the opposition, Kings, 9 kills on Hatsu, and that's about it. In the last match, Liaz had 25 kills versus MVP. Where is he now?
Where is he now? Where?
Exactly, mate.
Where? The push is coming through. They can try and go for this burst towards the B-bomb site. A little bit risky for what could definitely be the final round. He's TyLoo as well, going to fire down. Gets one kill. There's a response from Hats. He's trying to get back into the action a little bit for you. As Imagine as well wants to go for the drive-by opener. He switched out to the M4. Him and Liaz can do a little bit of double teamwork damage and work their way through. Nifty as well, overpowered after he will get that first kill. JKS is here for the retake, though it's him and Naf. They've been prime on their retakes in the past. Nice use of the molly as well. Forces in the fullback. They can't quite go for the bumper. JKS, this is where it is physical peak. He is an apex predator as he will get both of those frags. Renegades taking a 16-2 fashion. Incredibly fast.
And there you have it. They're going to be making it out of the group in first place. And that's pretty much all she wrote. 16-2, very, very dominant fashion there for the side of Renegades. And you can see head in their hands there, looking down at the floors. They're not happy with their performance. Kings, obviously, they were trying so hard to come in with this massive upset and try and base to whatever Renegades were going to bring into the minor. The problem is you potentially put all this time into investing into counter-stratting and looking at what Renegades are doing on the T sides.